Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yours.
Inside here, you get an insight and you know something, but you don't want to say it out loud because you're kind of afraid that it's not going to be really true and it'll spoil the whole thing for you, But when somebody makes you say it, then, and it's true, then it just makes it more beautiful of a thing.
Welcome back. It's a brand new season of CGL.
This is just an absolute treat. These players are so damn good.
The talent on these teams is undeniable. Everybody on every team right now is making plays.
It's going to be an exciting start to the season, and it'll just get better from here on out.
We're about to step to a whole new era of Overwatch esports. So much exciting action is happening here on CGL that you do not want to miss.
Look who's starting it all off. It's Raven. No one necessarily figure out what is the right way to go just yet.
What a nice roll through from me. It's just gonna solidify everything within those.
Does come back, and Arsario gets the mech, but I don't need a mech. I'll kill Thor anyway.
This is just a highlight reel for Arsario right now.
They're making a statement in the EU Masters here.
This patch is still incredibly fresh. There's so much to learn, so much to change about the way we play the game.
NKT, but the shatter is colossal.
Let's get it going.
Trades keep coming through. Laura, is he gonna be able to find these shots true?
Idu on the overclock with 2.
Here comes the Natalie immediately goes back to fine skills, slicing and dicing their way through 2-3. So back and forth.
We are getting peak Overwatch tonight out of CGL Friday Night Overwatch. We already just got done with an amazing game. Now moving into our next one, Last Dinosaur versus Red Team. What better way to take you all through this than with a desk that is ready to dive deep into it. Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Sam Talks. I'm going to be your desk host for this evening and for this game as well. Joining me from the last time around, we have 2 Tryhard Ray, Chef Billy, and Headrammer. Headrammer, this time I'm going to start on the opposite side of the desk. I'm going to start with you. I'm going to start with you. How we feel?
Special.
I wouldn't go that far. How are we feeling about the game tonight? I mean, this is a powerhouse game we got going on.
Yeah, this game I'm really excited to see. We have 2 really strong teams in Red Team and Last Dinosaur, and I'll admit, I know we're going to get to predictions later, but I was struggling for a bit to pick who was going to win.
It was a toughie, I think, for all of us, right, Ray? This is not an easy. At the very least, we know it's map 5.
Yeah, you know it's a tough game when our producer is like, "I need your preds," because we're like just so hemming and hawing all the way until the end. It's ridiculous. Both of these teams are brimming with so much talent, whether coming from the console scene, coming from, a world that Billy is very familiar with, calling all heroes scene. These teams are just so talented, and I can't wait to see. I'm expecting a map 5 banger.
And that's why I wanted to come to you last, Billy, because we're in your world now. You're obviously very familiar with the Last Dinosaur team operating under a different name, but you know the names.
Yeah, I know the names very well. Very well. This is a lot of the pieces of the Michael Wave team that stormed into Calling All Heroes in the second minor and then just made the biggest splash in the championship, taking 3rd overall. So there's a different pedigree of competition and competitive success that this Last Dinosaur team is bringing. Now, Red Team is storied. Okay, let's call a spade here. They're freaking great, but this Last Dinosaur team has a different angle. They've been welcomed into the space through the Calling All Heroes initiative. We pick pieces of here and there. Mari is one of the best tanks that was in the tier 3, tier 2 scene. Oh my God, you're in for a treat. We talk about adaptability. We talk about flexibility. Mari will show you everything that she has and then some. And then we have the CGL alum, Ramasu. Definitely ready for that as well. So, I was just giggled. Headrammer and I were talking while I was in the broadcast for Calling All Heroes. He's like, "That's CGL, that's Ramasu." I'm like, "Oh my God!" Yeah. So I love it. So
My former teammate too.
Yeah. Billy, I wish you recorded that. I need to hear Headrammer sound like that.
I don't know. I don't know if I thought it was exactly like that.
No, I'm pretty sure
No,
you did.
You
maybe
pretty
like-
much did.
It's like, hey, a little bit deeper.
Billy wouldn't lie to us, Headrammer. I think we actually got a 1-to-1 recreation of your voice.
yeah.
Yeah, I
I mean, to
totally.
be fair, how can I argue this? Billy's paid to professionally for their voice, so I mean, how can I doubt that?
See, that's what I'm saying. How can we can't doubt Billy. No.
No,
I mean,
this is gonna be great though. This is gonna be, I think, one of the most closely contested matches of our mid-season tournament. Everybody tuning in out there, get ready, have your popcorn, have your snacks, because you're gonna need them.
which is funny because when we talk about the mid-season tournament and everything going on, you're saying that this is a match for the ages. It's stage 1 semis. We're already getting a match of the ages, and we haven't even stepped into the grand final. So who knows what that's going to be looking like? We do have the bracket up here. Last Dinosaur taking on Hivemind in a 3-0 spectacular, which, by the way, holy cow. We all know the team of Hivemind. That is not an easy team to go up against, but not only that, but to 3-0 them. Then we look over at Red Team 3-1 against UTOW Varsity Hybrid. Then we have Shikigami 1040 Tax Form 3-2. Nexus 3-0 against EA UCD Blue. And already we have a team waiting in the grand finals. Nexus 3-1ing 1040 Tax Form. So the winner of Last Dinosaur versus Red Team is going to go into the grand finals to take on Nexus, Headrammer.
Yeah, this bracket in general is stacked from all these teams.
That's
here.
what I'm saying.
I think these are the types of brackets I really enjoy, where you go in, not too many matches of the 3-0s, and you just have banger after banger after banger. I mean, no matter who, I think this match is going to be a banger, and I think the winner of this one in grand finals will also be a banger.
Yeah, Billy, we said it in the previous segment or previous desk segment that we were kind of looking at those upsets and weren't really getting it out of the NA open console tier, but this time around for the PC open tier, this is just like I'm kind of in shock looking at that bracket.
Okay, so there's mechanical differences between playing on the sticks and playing on a mouse and keyboard.
True.
So,
Do we?
like the next tier down, big difference.
Yeah.
I was a gold player. I fully admit it. I was a gold player. I'm sorry. I hit platinum, almost diamond back in season 8. I got proof. I was 2983. But still, when you come to the PC side, okay. So I'm looking at UTAL, the University of Toronto. They're a hybrid team. I just saw EAUCD. So I mean that's University of California, Davis. I mean we got. Then we also have Shikigami, who competed in the Calling All Heroes initiative as well. So it's collegiate, it's Calling All Heroes, it's the best of the PC, all wrapping up into this massive little ball.
Yeah.
And that's why you're seeing these upsets where you're not expecting to see teams come out and just absolutely slap people around. Like Hivemind should have never been beaten 3-0.
No.
It happened. It happened, and that's how good this team is.
That's what I'm saying, Billy. This is like we're getting CGL is getting to that level right now where we were like kind of in our own bubble, our own world for just a little bit, and then now it's expanding. We've got all of these great big names. We've got all of these incredible players from all across the spectrum of Overwatch. Ray brings a smile to my face.
Brings a smile to my face too. Keep in mind, that team who's awaiting the winner of this match in Grand Finals, Nexus, that's essentially the Crazy 88s that have just rebranded into Nexus. So many familiar players to the console scene that they've all made that jump up to PC, and they've been doing a lot of us proud. During the break, I was watching some of the co-streams and seeing some of those names competing right now in OWCS. It just makes us all who come from the console scene so proud to see them at that level.
It's like proud parents seeing our children going out into the world and making their dreams come true. I'm tearing up over here on the desk.
I'm verklempt over here. I got the Vegas.
So let's go ahead and pull up our first team and our lineups to go along with it and start talking about them. And who better than Last Dinosaur themselves? Of course, we have none other. Starting off with Snozlar, Ramosu, Mari, AJMR, and Wicca. This, Billy, we're going to start off with you because this team, talked about them. We talked about what they've been able to accomplish, calling all heroes, very scary.
Indeed. And we got the CGL alum there to boot in Ramasu. So, I mean, Snozlar has a pretty filthy hero pool in their own rights. We will see Ramasu probably bring out the Genji, if not the Tracer. That's kind of like its own little subset of the hit scan DPS, of the projectile DPS. They're like their own little. I like to call them the fleeters. They like to go around the sides. They like to pinch in. They like to flank. We'll see these two really thrive on that. Something they brought to the Calling All Hero initiative when that was going on. So, and then Wicca is one of the best high tier 3, low tier 2 main supports in the scene. So, you know, I was really impressed with what they brought to the table in the Calling All Heroes as well. And then AJMR, they really did make a big step up with Michael Wave. And I think that, you know, in their flex support role, we can see the Brigitte, we can see the Zenyatta, we can see whatever they want to pull out here. There might even be the Moira variation going on right now. And then, as Headrammer and I both said, Mari is is so capable on all tanks. It does not matter. The Diva is filthy. The Sigma is absolutely brutal. The Ramatra is oppressive. And the Junker Queen is just damn sexy. There's no other way to put it. She puts the sexy into the Junker Queen. We were talking about Dinks. I think that Dinks would get bodied by Mari just on that hero alone.
Oh.
And I can put the stamp out there on that because that's how good she is.
You mind if I ask you a question, Billy, about this team, since you seem to be the all-knowing on this team?
I mean, I know all the Calling All Heroes teams because that's my job.
Of course. So this is not meant to be a slight at any of these players, but just hearing you talk about them, the talent on the team, if they are to be had anywhere, just based on your talks, it seemed like it might be that support line. Like that might be the angle Red Team have to take.
Oh, yeah. You nailed it 100%, Ray. I think... So Ramasu can be up and down, too. If they're not getting the value on the Genji or the Tracer, whatever they're bringing out, there might be a little bit of an angle there as well. But I think that AJMR is probably going to be the weaker link here for Last Dinosaur, because Wicca does have the tons of thousands of hours of experience in the main support role. So I think, you know, tank-wise, Red Team's going to be up against it to match Mari for the aggression, for the initiative that she will bring to this. So I think you nailed it. Yeah, I think in the support line, that's where Red Team really does need to focus.
Well, speaking of Red Team, let's go ahead and pull them up. Start getting an idea of what we're going to be looking at here. Hey, I'm Zero. Then, of course, Hopeful, Rosa, Goldia. Sorry, I butchered that. That's my bad. Evergreen. Ray, Red Team, this is going up against Last Dinosaur. We just had that excellent discussion on what kind of they need to be doing for their own success. But I guess we can kind of turn that back around and see what Last Dinosaur needs to press the issue onto Red Team.
Yeah, I agree. So I've had the pleasure, I mean, so has Billy, so have a lot of us, like Red Team and Blue Team have been like kind of the staple teams through CGL along with Nexus Us Crazy 88s for seasons and seasons and seasons. And every season they always have slightly different iterations. So this is definitely a change up a little bit. Hopeful and Hey I'm Zero is their main stake DPS. This is like their firepower. And Evergreen, we know Wicca. I feel like Evergreen's one of the best known main supports in the CGL scene. So I think that's one spot to look at. So I feel like if you are the side of Last Dinosaurs, one way you're going to get your angle into winning this matchup is in that tank matchup against Rosa. Rosa, very talented player, just doesn't have the same amount of flexibility. So I think that's where you can really take advantage of your Last Dinosaurs.
We've been talking over and over and over again about how important that flexibility is, Headrammer. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we chose our MVP from the previous series, is because of how flexible they were in the fluidity of what they wanted to play and how much impact they were able to get out of it. And that gave them so much success for the team, and one of the reasons why we look at them as the MVP. It could be Last Dinosaur's best opportunity and best piece of, or tool in the toolkit to win, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you get into these upper echelons of teams competing, you know, Last Dinosaur has had all this experience competing in Call All Heroes, regularly scrimming. A lot of times the console teams don't always scrim as much, and they don't necessarily always have as much experience constantly counter-swapping each other, or they're more likely to try to like hard force what they want to play. And maybe sometimes being a little reluctant to swapping, whereas a lot of times you'll see these more prepared teams just instantly counter-swap you no matter what. And especially when you have a tank line that is as flexible as Mari is, that could be a problem for you. And I'll also mention, I think from my memory, usually Jacko's the main starting flex support for Red Team, and Goldia is also, I believe, a main support. So I don't know if they're going to be playing like Kiri Lucio or like Brig Lucio, because I know Goldia's in-game name is Mighty Brig. They were originally known for their Brig.
Yep.
So I think it'll be or we can also see Evergreen swap over to playing the flex support as well potentially.
A lot of potentials there, and that's what makes obviously the stage 1 of the semifinals so exciting on what the possibilities that we are going to be getting out of both of these teams. Now it is time for our next segment, though. We've talked about the teams. We've talked about all of the amazingness going on with the brackets and whatnot. So we got to go into a game show now. We got to go into the Headrammer game show, where we're going to be having some, and this time instead of maps, we're going to go into Overwatch trivia. The desk versus the Overlord of CGL.
Yes. So,
Not
as
ready
everyone
for this.
knows, it is typically one of my goals every single one of these segments to make the desk suffer in some kind of twisted game way. We had our maps earlier, and now it's time for general Overwatch trivia. This time, you guys aren't competing against each other. It's all of you versus the questions, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
If you think you know what the answer is, you guys have to confirm between yourselves what answer you want to be your final answer before I reveal the answer, okay?
Okay.
So we're a unit. We're a team here.
Yeah, you're a collective unit this time.
Okay.
Thank goodness. Why haven't we been doing that before?
I think we established from the maps you guys really need it. I'm sorry.
What the heck?
Wow.
Get out of here. Get out of here. All right. What do you got for us?
All right. Boom. Official trivia from...
Wait, can we...
All right, so who is the first hero created for Overwatch?
Oh, that's... I know that one. It's Torbjorn.
You guys are confirming yourself, so you other guys have to confirm it's your final answer.
What do you think, Tracer?
Yeah, it's Torbjorn.
You're sure of this,
Torbjorn,
Sam?
100% sure it's Torbjorn.
All right.
Okay, he's
I'll write it with Sam.
All right. Tracer.
No!
Sam.
I will never trust you again.
I know.
I was surprised you guys trusted me so much.
You said it with so much gusto.
I know.
All
I
right,
said it was such a big...
Next question. Not a great start, I will admit. What is the name of the fictional movie starring Diva?
Oh my gosh, we even looked
Hero
at
of the
poster.
Storm.
Is that the team's final answer?
I'm gonna go with it.
Hero of the
You're
Storm.
going with it because you don't know?
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm gonna go with Billy.
Yeah.
Pretty close. We'll give it to you.
Yeah, that's fair.
You had a bit of thing. All right. Which map is based on a real location in Italy?
Colosseo.
I mean, it's either Colosseo or Rialto.
Rialto.
Like, there's no other way around it.
That's a debate question. Oh my god.
Would it be... Well, should we say Rialto since that came first?
You should lean on the side of earlier things for this because I don't know how new it is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
Rialto.
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 Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right. What's Reaper's full name?
It's Gabriel something, isn't it?
Reyes.
Reyes.
Yeah.
Gabriel
Riz.
Reyes.
Yeah.
We're locking it in?
Locking it in.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Hey, this is,
That's
this might have
Torbjorn.
been-
Sam.
Torbjorn.
That's
Torbjorn.
Tracer, 100%.
Torbjorn.
Torbjorn, correct. This is the most expensive Overwatch skin ever released. Again, this is an older one, so.
Pink
That's
Mercy.
a
You said which one?
Pink Mercy.
Pink Mercy.
Yeah. Probably
Yeah.
Pink Mercy.
Pink Mercy.
Yep.
$15.
Yeah, this is, I believe this is
God.
pre-Overwatch too.
The good old days. $15.
Yeah. Who's the youngest
Can't
person
even
ever
get the battle
inducted into
pass for
Overwatch?
that.
So, like, is that asking who the youngest hero is?
Wouldn't it technically be Orisa?
I believe it's the youngest hero, I think.
If it's youngest hero, it's
But again,
Orisa, I believe.
inducted into Overwatch. They had to be part of Overwatch.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of want to say Genji, but
What are we locking in here?
I'm kind of going with. I mean, because isn't Tracer older than Genji?
I think so, right?
But I mean, Winston. How old is Winston?
Oh, that's a good point.
Just because he's a big gorilla doesn't mean.
I might go Winston, honestly. Let's go Winston. Final answer?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, Winston.
Diva.
Diva.
Oh, okay.
Huh. Well, okay. That makes sense.
What am I Bastion's friends with?
A bird.
Bird.
We have to know the
Ganymede.
species.
I hope we don't have to know the species. Ganymede.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. How many bullets does Reaper Shotgun hold?
Oh God.
Is it 8?
I don't know why, but for some reason the number 12 popped in my head, but I don't know if that's right.
I'm gonna go with Ray's head answer and go 12.
Will you confirm as well?
I wouldn't trust it.
It's better than whatever we got. Oh my God, I was right. Boy, I wonder what this next question is.
I wonder which one
I
this
don't
is.
know.
That's Torbjorn. Torbjorn.
I'm just gonna show that
Yes,
one.
Tracer. Good lord.
Now, can you guess the time period of what this one is?
What is the name of Hanzo's ultimate ability? It's the
Yeah.
Dragon Strike.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. The type of animal is Winston.
Gorilla?
Is that confirmed from the team? Yes?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's Gorilla.
Yep. Alright, what character is professional esports player?
Diva.
Yeah, that's Diva.
Correct. Which hero can heal by doing damage? Getting older.
Reaper.
Yeah.
Reaper. Well, yeah, Reaper, yeah.
That is definitely older. Yeah, it's Reaper.
How many maps were at the launch of Overwatch?
Oh, God.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, you had your easy ones.
That's tough, actually. At the launch?
Yep.
It was
16?
they had Control, Escort, Hybrid, and 2CP available at launch, right?
Yeah, they did. I'm gonna go 16. I'm gonna go 16 maps.
16 maps, interesting, okay.
I'm gonna say
You guys need to agree.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's more like 12 or 13, like 3 maps per map type.
I think it's 12.
All right, let's go 12 then.
Boom.
Yeah!
There we
got
go.
it, baby!
Nice. All right.
Who are the Shimada brothers?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
That's
Hanzo.
Reinhardt and Brigitte, right?
Yeah. Oh boy.
Boom.
All right.
What is Widowmaker's husband?
Dead.
Dead.
That's twisted.
I mean, true. Let's say, was it Laurent?
Laurent. I'm gonna go with Laurent. I have
Laurent.
no clue who Widowmaker's husband is.
I think so. Probably not.
Gerard
Gerard
Lacroix.
I knew it was a French name.
Oh yeah, which hero is known to be a famous DJ in the Overwatch
Okay, I'm gonna
universe?
skip this. It's a little easy. How about this one? What are we searching for? The anime for the plan.
They're searching for money, gold.
Yeah, like they want their gold.
Yeah, the Junkertown gold or something.
Treasure.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah. I think this would be a good final answer here.
Yeah.
Let me find a fun.
Yeah, let's get a fun final answer. Which hero is known for his Peacekeeper revolver? That's hilarious.
Which animal appears on Tracer's shoulder in the graffiti skin?
No, we never.
Is it a rat?
I'm gonna go with a rat.
Because she's a sewer rat? Just because of the skin? No, because of the skin.
No, I mean it makes sense. I'm gonna go with a rat. I'll go with Billy. I have no clue.
All right, you think you guys are gonna end up on a high note here?
Hopefully. We better.
A lion.
Oh.
That's ridiculous.
Okay. No, that makes sense too, because she's British and that's their national.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
All right. That's enough for our game here.
All right, we got game
I suppose
showed.
we weren't entirely embarrassed this time.
No, we weren't. We're not entirely
Fighting.
Hey, we actually got a lot of those, even some of the more obscure ones, and I think that's a big victory. Now, speaking of victory, we did make predictions on victories. This one broke the desk. This one was a difficult one. We almost all think that it's going to go to a map 5. Billy has a little bit more faith in the capabilities of Last Dinosaur. Stonewalling Red Team on the 4th map.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Just saying.
You
I
got
got
faith.
my faith. I know what they're capable of if they compete the way I know they can. This is going to be a really difficult day for Red Team. It's going to take everything they've got. I could see it going 5 maps. Let me be perfectly honest.
Ooh.
I just think. Whew.
Are we able to see them cast their preds to see how split we really are?
Yeah, I want to see. Give us the caster prize before I hammer home head rammer.
Oh,
We're split 3-3.
I don't know how I feel about this anymore. Okay,
That's what we like
all
to
right.
see.
You know, I just brought Twin into the CGL too. I think I might have to boot his ass out.
Yeah.
It depends if we get it right and you get it wrong. If so, you might have to kick yourself out and take some notes.
Wow,
also
head
right.
rammer.
True.
Ready to start throwing.
Wait, I get a
some-
break?
Yay!
Ah, shoot, wait, never mind, come back.
I don't know,
Billy.
sounds like Head Rammer's not getting dinner at DreamHack.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like.
I'm
I mean,
cooking at
I booked the
DreamHack. I'm
Airbnb.
cooking at DreamHack, everybody. So that's
Now, Head Rammer, I do want to touch on your prediction, right? Because you're the only one who's saying that, on the desk at the very least, who is saying that Red Team is going to take map 5. But why? What lends credence to that? Where's the evidence behind this decision?
I mean, many of the so we've talked about the experience from the side of Last Dinosaur. Red Team also has quite a lot of experience. These players have been playing for a really long time, and whenever they tend to lock it in, they lock it in and can do it very well. I fully agree this series is going to be really close, and I'll admit, I was kind of on the fence going back and forth of which team I thought was going to win. But I have a lot of faith, honestly, in the team of Red Team, and we've seen them play incredibly well and incredibly close to many other very strong teams. I think they do have the ability to take the win here.
All right. Well, hopefully someone's going to take the win. At the end of the night, someone is going to be taking the win. It's either going to be Last Dinosaur or Red Team. But we do need a dynamic duo, a pair that is going to have to somehow make sense of the journey that we are about to take. And who better than those two than Dexatron and Twin Salty? Over to you two.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the caster's desk right here. I am Dextron. That is Twin Salty. While the bracket is starting to wind down, the action is revving right up here. The winner of this series between Last Dinosaur and Red Team moves on to the grand finals to take on Nexus here. Twin Salty, I mean, we heard the desk talk about these two teams at length. These are two incredibly good teams with a lot of incredibly talented players on it.
Yeah, two incredible teams. Honestly, you and I were talking before we made our preds. We legit were bouncing back and forth, and eventually, somehow both landed on a Red Team. But I do think, I agree with the desk, even though I said 3-1, could definitely see this going 3-2 either way. But going into Nepal for our first map, it does set up a lot of the JQ rush that we have been seeing over the last week or so, since the, I would not even say meta shifting, but game shifting patches came in that basically changed the entire game. I want to see the adaptability early for the team who doesn't get the point right away. The desk talked about it. This meta is about adaptability more than anything else.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, and especially as we start seeing more and more regions get into their OWCS play, and we start to see what every kind of region is running. I feel like that's also kind of inspiring some teams to maybe play certain comps a little bit, but I do believe you are right with the Junker Queen meta that we're going to probably be seeing here. Both these teams, I mean, have great tanks, as the desk did talk about.
Yeah, two incredible tanks, and I think it's going to be just a heavyweight fight, bout for bout, swing for swing in that front line. It may just come down to, hey, how many of the Carnages do you hit? How many of those knives do you hit? And how quick do those Suzus come in if your team is running the Kiriko? It is going to be the very minute details that might decide the war in the trenches.
Absolutely. And I mean, we head into this map here now. We go to, I'm forgetting the name of this map right now. I want to say Sanctuary or Sanctum here. But I mean, okay.
Oh. Well.
So remember what we were talking about? Yeah. Never take advice from us.
Yeah, that point proven right there, as there is not a JQ in sight. we will see that Lucio Kiriko support line for both sides, but it will actually be the two variations of dive, with red team going with the Diva variation, slightly more peel in that comp. Last Dinosaur, they will go with the Doomfist dive, so they're going to want very quick engages, and definitely look for Mari and Ramasu to be looking for gold idea very quick.
Yeah, and if you're a red team, I mean, Rosa on this Diva is going to be the make or break thing here. I think Mari has a little bit more flexibility on this Doomfist here, just being able to move around like that right there. Misses the punch on the Hey I'm Zero, but Hey I'm Zero making the first mistake of the game right there, walking off the map, and you're just going to see the rest of their team shortly follow them back to the spawn here.
Yeah, everyone will fall short as Last Dinosaur. They will pick up the point first, and yeah, maybe a little bit of a whoops. Not exactly how you want to start the series if you are Hey I'm Zero, but it is going to allow Last Dinosaur to cap this point first. It's going to be a lot of pressure on Rosa here to try and peel for Mari when she is on the dive. It's going to be incredibly difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you're a red team, and especially Hey I'm Zero, I mean, that is basically as bad of a start as you could get here. It's only up from this point right now. Rosa going to be diving onto the support line right now, focusing in on Joy, or on Wicco. Joy will be able to take care of them right there. Great opening pick here for red team. And now Snozzler just a little bit too far away from any healing. Will get taken out, but it is traded out there onto the other side to Echo right now. Mari trying to keep this fight alive for their team. They will get the DMAC here, but now they're starting to be pressured out here by Joy a little bit. But Ramos, who's going to be able to get that pulse bomb stick there on the Goldia. Find Rosa as well. They're just blinking around the map. 3 kills already. Can they find the 4th? The pulse bomb will come out there from Zero. Not going to be able to find anyone with that there, but through all that chaos there, it's going to be Last Dinosaur holding on.
Last Dinosaur on the back of Ramasu, able to win the fight as she goes absolutely nuts on the play. And especially the one thing I didn't talk about earlier, having the Diva instead. The one downside is the focusing being here from Snozzler is going to be even more deadly to them as it would be Mari, just because they don't have that block to try and take that little bit less damage, and their hitbox is so big.
Right now, Snake just trying to take this off angle as the Kitsune Rush comes out here from AJMR. Oh, the punch off the map, but they will be able to TP themselves back up. However, they TP themselves right back up in front of Mari, who immediately takes care of them with help from Snozzer. Snake, though, gonna be able to trade out Snozzer right there. But again, as long as Mari is alive and kicking, you're gonna still see this potential to find picks. AJMR finds Zero, and they're just falling back here. We're seeing last touch here, potentially for red team, but I think with Rosa getting DMEC there's no chance.
Rosa will try and jump back in the map. Maybe it is Giat that will be able to get back in, but no. Kitsune Rush won't even get them there on time. Last Dinosaur take a clean 100-0.
And what a way to introduce themselves to me. I've never seen Last Dinosaur played, and you heard Chef Billy absolutely talk about this team, the praise that they gave them here. This was an incredible start, but red team, I mean, they are the past champions of season 11 here. I mean, yeah, they did talk about it's a little bit of a different team, but you know, you still expect a lot from this team knowing their history.
Yeah, there's a certain caliber that you expect here from red team. I haven't seen this collective 5 play in a while. I've seen Wicca and Snozzler independently play before, and they were incredible. But this is definitely a little bit of a reality check here for red team to begin. As we do begin the second round, the only difference will be Snozzler shifts over to the Sojourn this time around to try and take advantage of that high ground.
Yeah, but Snake gonna stick with the Echo here. If Snake can find that same value that Snozzler was finding that last point, it might help their team out a lot here, but I'm honestly really kind of surprised to see Rosa stick on to this Diva here.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked, especially because it did not work out well last time, and well, it won't work out for Zero. They're the first steady yet again.
Yeah, right now being absolutely tracer diff there by Ramosu. I mean, you saw their stat line from that first point, 10-0, no deaths. Basically, they're kind of showing us that tracer diff here at the moment. As Last Dinosaur does cap the point, you do see the re-engage here, though, from Rosa. Snake trying to get that high ground advantage there in that sky. Going to be able to put some damage in, pressure Last Dinosaur back around pillars. But again, it's going to be Zero falling here first. And now you just see Mara dive in there. Snake not going to be able to escape. Actually will be able to with some help from Goldia there using the Suzu. But red team on the back foot here.
They will just have to try and retreat as Zero, just having an extremely rough start for this series. Ramasu has their game on point currently. And you got to think here, you got to try and figure out how Mari is getting into some of these fights. You got to find a way to punish.
Yeah, absolutely, but it's gonna be
or not.
Zero. 3 straight times Zero has been taken out of the fight early without your Tracer. You see what that does here to Red Team. They're very cautious. They have to fall back right now, but now they're starting to focus on some other people. Droid does have the beat ready to go right now, but they're not necessarily going to use it in this situation. Going to be able to keep themselves alive, but now the Casino Rush coming out from both Heroes right now, each looking for whatever advantage it can. Zero, they're going to be able to find AJMR. Snozzer gets taken out as well. Snake, though, trade out through all that. But right now, Red Team does have the advantage. They're trying to play it well here. Bomb going to be forced out here from Rosa as they get D-mech. Not going to be able to find anyone, but they safely will get back into their mech here. Ramosu trying to keep this fight alive, but it's Mari finding Goldia right there. A huge pick off there for Last Dinosaur. They're going to be able to find Mari, and that might just be Red Team capping this point now, unless we see a last-second touch here from Last Dinosaur, but I don't think that's the right play, and yeah, they'll just give the point over.
Yeah, without your tank, it's going to be incredibly tough, and now Red Team, with the first point cap of the game so far for them, will try and take advantage, hold them at the choke, but so far, not really able to do a whole lot. Rosa just has to make sure they get out alive.
AJMR, though, not going to be able to get out alive. The duplicate coming out here from Snake has to use it to keep themselves alive. They dupe into this Doomfist right now, and Mari not going to be able to escape right there. That's disrupting shot with some help from Zero. Going to be able to take care of them. Snozzer, though, going to be able to find Zero there, but you see Snake get very aggressive, trying to get themselves out of this one so they don't immediately die once that duplicate ends, and yeah, they'll be able to do that here, but now it's going to be Ramosu getting that point touch there, taking that focus off them. Overclock coming out here from Snozzer. Going to get rid of the mech there. Ramosu will find Rosa as they get D-Mech. Snozzer one with this Overclock, looking for more. Going to be able to help Mara and Wicca find 2 right there as the Last Dinosaur retakes the point.
What a beautiful retake on the back of Snozzler. She is able to line up 4 during that fight. Red Team don't have a lot of time to work with here during this touch, and honestly, no ultimates to work with as well, unless Zero can finally build up that pulse.
Yeah, we've seen Zero be one of the first ones to die a lot so far at this first map. They will get the touch at a force overtime. Zero does have that pulse bomb ready to go. They do find AJMR. The pulse bomb does come out, and Zero finding 2 very early on, but they will get taken out there by Ramosu right now. But Last Dinosaur, knowing that they've already lost a couple members in this fight, will just let Red Team take it right now as Ramosu trying to find one more pick on the way out.
Yeah, trying to find one more, not able to yet, as Red Team stay alive in the round and in the map as a whole. Last Dinosaur will have a lot to work with, though. Sound barrier as an escape method. Jot, though, has it on the other side, and so far it has just been the entirety of Last Dinosaur making Rosa's life a living hell.
Hey, I'm Zero back into this Tracer duel with Ramosu right there as we hop over to Rosa, but it's going to be Ramosu winning again against Zero here. Rosa has to put a lot of weight on their back right now, trying to find a pick as the Casino Rush comes out there from Goldia. Beats coming out from both ways, but it's going to be Mara finding Snake right there. Last Dinosaur, though, through all the chaos, able to retake the point right there. Goldia, though, does find Snozzer to trade out for Snake right there, still looking for another pick to give themselves a huge advantage, but Goldia, they cannot climb up the wall. The bomb coming out here from Rosa, just trying to find anything, will not be able to find anything, trying to just wait out that Casino Rush. Hey, I'm Zero, gonna be able to find Mara right there, immediately traded out there is Jot by AJMR. Last Dinosaur just trying to find a clean up picks right now. Pulse bomb coming out there for Ramosu. We'll go a little bit wide right of the throw right there, but you're gonna see 2 kills go the way of the Last Dinosaur. Rosa coming back in, gets D-Mech, not gonna be much longer for this world right there, and Last Dinosaur going to be able to win this first map 2-0.
Extremely clean display from Last Dinosaur, and that is the exact start that you were looking for here in this semifinal. And Ramosu making a statement during this first map, and time after time, just the little plays. Not even always with the pulse. This time it was, but she's always just lurking around. We saw it time and time again. The opposing Tracer couldn't get anything done. Like, they were just keeping eyes on them the entire time, and you gotta feel a little bit for Zero, because they're just trying to help their Diva with these dives, help their Echo as well, and instead they're just fighting for their life in the back.
Yeah, absolutely, but I think the big turning point in this first map came down to the tank selection here. Mari on this Doomfist seemed unstoppable at points, and Rosa, I mean, you even talked about it, especially with Snozzer playing that Echo on the first point. That beam was just able to melt through them so fast there to the point where Rosa really never found the value they were looking for.
Yeah, it never really found anything in this comp from
Oh
Last Dinosaur. We've seen it a little bit here and there, especially over at OWCS Korea. And it is a very tricky comp to use, but when you do it right, it is incredible. And you see it there. Ramosu never died during that entire map. That is an insane stat line as you look at the Tracer comparison here. 15 more elims, 3 more final blows, over 3,000 more damage, and the big one at the bottom. 11 to 0 deaths. That is definitely going to change the tide of a map.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I talked about the tracer diff going on there. I did not know it was this much of a diff. This is not necessarily a dip. I think like this is a canyon here a little bit. I mean, Ramosu coming out on fire. Zero. I mean, you talked about there, they're trying to help their diva with these dives, but they were always the first one getting caught out there, especially on that second point. I mean, the first 3-4 team fights, the first person we saw die every time was, hey, I'm Zero. And I mean, I talked about that's not a good way to start off fights.
You cannot afford to lose your Tracer, especially in the spot Tracer's in this meta. It is crucial. It is critical. We saw it there. That's why Last Dinosaur did so well compared to Red Team, struggling a little bit at times. And on the next map, that trend is probably going to continue. It is Blizzard World as our hybrid map tonight, which screams to me Red Dinosaur want to try and force the dive more. But they gotta find an answer for this Doomfist dive. It is so good right now from Last Dinosaur. Something has got to change, and it looks like their answer for right now is a sub.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams very, very deep in their lineups here, so we're gonna expect to see subs here throughout the night. But it'll be Red Team making that sub here first. Jacko will be coming in now for them here for Goldia. And I mean, you're seeing them at least show the Baptiste right here. That doesn't mean they're necessarily going to play the BAP, but you have to. The support line there for a Red Team. I mean, they did their best in a very sticky situation there on that first map.
Yeah, no, it was a very tricky spot for Red Team. It just seemed like they never really got their footing, whether it be, you know, at the very first fight, it's Zero accidentally blinking off the map. You know, it was not the ideal setup, and once Last Dinosaur locked in control, they were never going to give it up on that first round. Red Team at least did get some momentum in the second round, which gives me a little bit of confidence. They can try and continue it here on Blizzard World, especially with the fact that they, to our knowledge, is starting on attack. Especially on this map, it can be extremely tricky in this first point. It can be, you know, a very long engage. Sometimes you have to take 2 mini fights before you even get to the point. So I'm looking for them. They need a hot start here to avoid a 2-0 hole.
Yeah, but Red Team, what do they need to necessarily come out with here? I mean, we saw them play nothing but dive on that first map. Do you think they're going to show us anything different? Do you think we're going to see the Diva? Or maybe do they, you know, go to that Jungle Queen we were talking about? Maybe even potentially a poke? I have seen Sigma played here a little bit on Blizz World.
I wouldn't mind the Sig. I, in a way, kind of hope that's the direction they're going, but especially on the attack, it's a little more difficult to run it. On the attack, you're almost forced to play dive with how much opposing high ground there is. I think the comp difference may come on the defense. Like you said, the Sigma has been a sneaky pick, especially against, you know, the JQ comps. It's been, like, awkwardly good. I was not expecting Sigma to really come out in a decent spot in this meta, but he's actually kind of surfaced at an okay level. But I think in the beginning here, it may just be more of the play style difference rather than the comp.
Yeah, absolutely. As we are about to head in here to Blizzard World, I mean, we've talked about what Red Team necessarily needs to do here, but in your opinion, does Last Dinosaur need to change anything up? I mean, that Doomfist comp that they were running looked great. I mean, in my opinion, you run it until Red Team can prove they can beat it here.
Yeah, no, I don't think they swap at all. I think they just keep on going with it. You see Mari, and she's just, you know, jumping all over the place, and she's putting a lot of pressure as well onto the back line. Jacko now for Red Team entering this game a little bit cold potentially. They have a lot of pressure because it was Goldia who was getting a ton of pressure from Mari during that map, especially over there in round 2. There is no reason for Last Dinosaur to swap. It doesn't seem like they will. They're going to run the same exact thing. And maybe not too much of a surprise unless Snake does stick that swap. The main concept here for Red Team has not changed. They will continue to run the Diva variation of this dive.
And one thing we talked about before going into the series here is right now you have to kind of be flexible no matter what kind of comp you're running here. And so far from both these teams, we haven't really seen a lot of flexibility. I mean, it was working out great for Last Dinosaur, but Red Team at the moment, as Joyt gets stuck in the doorway right there, it just hasn't really, they haven't seen that flexibility that you would necessarily want to see from a team that had struggled a little bit on that first map right there. But now, new map, kind of a new playstyle, new mindset for them here. Just trying to find an opening pick. But Last Dinosaur, I mean, other than Mari right here, playing it very safe, very passive as they're waiting for Red Team just to engage into them here.
Yeah, and there you go. You find and Snozzler finds the pick, and at this point, red team, yeah, they just need to get out. There is no reason to push in without the Lucio. It'll be last dinosaur trying to get one, and they do. Jocko is found out. What a punch as well from Mario just to send Snake back to their den, but a perfect fight there from last dinosaur. All they're going to have to do here is just sit back, wait for red team to make a mistake. That's all they have to do with this kind of positioning. Mari's going to go in, instigate, see if they can shift the positioning a little bit. But they don't honestly have to do a lot until red team fully commits to a push.
And here's that push right there. Rosa immediately diving in, being just damaged by everyone there on last dinosaur. Snake trying to get a little bit of the focus off them right now. But again, this Tracer duel is going to be very interesting here. Zero, though, does have a pulse bomb ready to go here. Same, though, could be set from Ramosu, who might be looking to stick it onto someone like Joy, like Jacko. But it's actually be Ramosu falling here. The stick comes out there, but the Suzu going to be able to save them right there. And red team starting to find picks go their way to make it 3-4. And this is exactly the start that red team wanted.
They needed this kind of start. You still have 4.5 minutes, and it's perfect. This is exactly the start you need, and you may honestly even get some staggers into Wicca. Never mind. Reinforcements on the way. She is saved, and it will be Zero. Another untimely death, sadly. This one won't have too big of an impact, but beautiful play there. You force out the Suzu early, and it took a lot of the attention away from Mari, and they did not get the heals that they crucially needed.
Oh, and you see Mara going after Snake up there in the sky. One thing, though, that I noticed, Rosa got D-mech. They went back to the spawn to get back in the mech, lost all the percentage they had to a bomb right there. So now they're basically starting from zero here. Snozzer, though, able to find Zero out here early on in this fight. But last dinosaur playing very aggressive here. I mean, normally this is the type of area where you see a fight taken if the point wasn't taken here. Kitsune Rush and Beat being invested by red team here. They're finding the picks, but I mean, right now, if there was someone on the cart, they'd be getting so much free cart push. Bomb from Rosa. And
yeah,
Snake.
They're just going to commit to the remake as well. This is, a lot going in here for red team, but it's a fight they understand they need to win. Pulse is actually used as well, and we do actually have a pause now that is potentially being asked for. But 3 ultimates used for last dinosaur. It was all 5 from red team. So 8 ults used, and eventually it does go their way. But like you said, it wasn't your cart. There was no cart progress being made that entire time. It was getting fought in back first phase mega. So honestly, if you're last dinosaur, you're not too upset with it, to be honest with you, because they wasted some time. But obviously, super not happy that you didn't win the fight.
I mean, no, you're not happy you won the fight there, or that you lost the fight, but honestly, let's just look at what happened there. They've taken off a minute of this clock here. Finally, red team starting to push the cart right now. You just forced out all their ultimates. Yeah, you use ultimates yourself here, but you're in a great position right now. However, someone who's not in a great position would be the DPS line here for last dinosaur. But Mara able to find Jacko out here, and Zero falls as well. I mean, the distraction of the DPS line is working out to perfection for them here, as last dinosaur wins a team fight here.
You could say that, yeah, last dinosaur was a little bit split, but because red team didn't fully commit going each way or the other, Rose was kind of pushing them away, so was Zero. The rest of the team was kind of by cart. They actually got pinched themselves in a very awkward way. So 2 minutes gone, this cart has barely moved, and they may finally get some kills.
Meteor Strike coming out here, trying to find Jacko there, who able to get healed up by Joy, but eventually Mari will be able to find Jacko. And I mean, 2 minutes gone now, and you see the distance that red team has put on this cart. I mean, only 34 meters. Now they're finally starting to add on to that here a little bit, but still, everyone for last dinosaur still kind of lurking around here. Gonna be able to keep a fight in this one here, but Mara diving out there might be able to just give red team a little bit of a breather here.
Yeah, just a tiny bit. Get this cart going around this corner. This is where it could get extremely tricky, as last dinosaur are set up all across this high ground, and the pulse pump around the suit. They've been hitting them so far today, and she's looking for another.
Beat, though, invested here by Wicca to try to make their team go a little bit aggressive here. Pulse Bomb from Zero, not going to be able to get the stick on the Ramosu right there. Ramosu does have it. Pulse Bomb ready to go, like you said, but Wicca able to find one, immediately traded out there by Zero on to Snozzer right here. Jart going to have to be able to keep their team alive here. Pulse Bomb will come out, but it goes on to the worst target. But Snake picking up 2. The bomb will get forced out there. Mara going to be able to find Jot on that cart right there, but it's going to be Rosa find them once they get back in their mech, and now red team can continue to push.
Yeah, at that point, honestly, with Snake that just comes up the hero, they're in the back line. They're able to catch Ramasu when they're trying to back up after sticking the pulse. And like you said, you stuck it onto the one person who can just get back in the mech right away. But they do lose Zero, who maybe tried to get a little too aggressive, and that will actually trigger them to disengage from this cart. They know they just need to win one fight. They got a little over a minute to work with, and they don't want to overstay their welcome, as they do have both support ultimates to work with, as Wicca is still a good 40% to building up her sound barrier.
Yeah, but Mara, they can build up that Meteor Strike here incredibly quick if they land a couple punches right now, but Red Team's trying to bring this fight to a card here. Suzu going to be invested here by Jack to keep themselves alive. The duplicate coming out here from Snozler on to Zero. Mari going to be able to find Snake right there. B coming out from Joe just a little bit too late to keep Snake alive here. And now if you're Red Team, how many ultimates do you invest? The Pulse Bomb, though, gets in up there by Rosa. Rosa will also get Snozler out of that duplicate form from there. Jock going to be able to win the Lucio duel right there. Pulse Bomb going to come out there from Zero. Not going to be able to find anyone right there, but Red Team picking up the kills they need here. They just need to clean up the stragglers, but AJMR and Mari still alive and kicking, still able to deal death whichever way they like it. Zero going to be able to find AJMR there. Red Team, though, incredibly close to capping this point, but Rosa loses the mech at 85%.
They need to get out. They need to get out now if they want any chance of an attack here. And one final chance, it is Mari and AJMR who go huge during that fight. They get both supports before Jocko can even use the Kitsune Rush, and it will be a... No, it will not be a touch. They get them right before, and that's it for Red Team.
So close, yet so far away there for Red Team. I mean, hey, they got a decent amount of way towards point two, but again, like I kind of said, that first fight after they capped the point, I mean, you drove that... Last Dinosaur dragged that team fight back towards Red Team's initial spawn. I mean, they did everything right there. They took off a minute and a half of time, basically, before Red Team really, truly started their push.
Yeah, it took them so long to get going because of that. And I love the aggression, honestly, from Last Dinosaur. They're like, no, we're not just going to let them, do their setup and get ready to start pushing this card at choke. No, we're just going to press W. We're going to put them in an extremely uncomfortable position back halfway through, the first point area. And they do an incredible job of just keeping them at bay. You look at the kills, and it's relatively even. I would say Jot dying 6 times is definitely going to be a big talking point within Red Team. As Grossa, I will say, only died once. They're playing their life a little bit better, trying to play out of sight from Snozler. But it seemed like it was Jot and Jacko who really paid the price because of that.
Yeah, and I mean, you just look at the deaths there. It seems like that Last Dinosaur is able to keep themselves alive more often. Yeah, pretty consistent with 3, but I mean, you look at Red Team, you have one person at 5, 2 people at 5, one person at 6. Yeah, Rosa did a good job keeping themselves alive there, but just how often their support line was dying really never allowed Red Team the time to, build up a good fight.
Yeah, no, they were never really able to do their setups. And it just seemed like they were always just a little bit off, right? They were a little off kilter, not able to feel fully comfortable. And that's what this Doomfist loves to do. They love to scramble you up, almost like a wrecking ball to a degree, but definitely with a little bit more lethality.
And, I mean, right now, you're just seeing Mari walk straight in here, get the punch on the Snake. Will Snake be able to keep themselves alive? They will, and they're going to be able to find Mari right there. A huge start here for Red Team. They need to be able to find the second one to follow it up right now to really give them a great start. Last Dinosaur, though, almost getting a tick right there, but they're going to kind of fall back a little bit, waiting for Mari to come back, who swaps to the Zarya.
Okay. I don't mind it. I don't think they needed to swap. I think they were just maybe a little too aggressive on that push. But if you want to really isolate on Rosa, this is what you want to do. Even though Zarya, is not the best right now, it is very good in killing divas.
Yeah, not the best, but I think Zarya is actually in a sneaky good spot right now. And like you said, if it's just to shut down Rosa, they picked a really good hero to do it here. Now, again, this Echo Duel in the sky. Snake going to be able to win that one right there. And Rosa starting to pick up their groove here, going in after Ramosu. Not going to be able to find them, but look at that. Mara, Rika, find 2 kills right there. Make it 3 as no more support for Red Team. And hell, no more tank either. Zero, though. You have to put up a hell of a fight to try to keep this point in their control.
I wonder if Rosa swaps now. I think you might have to, as they won't for now. But that is going to be way too big of an issue. You get to see Mari. Rosa even tried to dive in, try and finish off the Zarya, but it was not happening whatsoever. Mari was able to play her life in a very similar time bank going into this second phase for Last Dinosaur, who you can just say practically need to finish second phase. They don't need to fully get there, but they only need about, 70 or so meters left before they claim a 2-0.
But this is a great start here for Red Team. Yes, Snozzler going to be able to find one right there, but you've gotten rid of Mara. But Snozzler now with 2 kills to their name right now, evening up the playing field right here as Last Dinosaur getting all this cart push for free. You finally see Rosa dive in. They have the bomb ready. They're going to be able to use it here. Snozzler get a duplicate to keep themselves alive here. Will find Wicca, but Snozzler's so low on this Diva right now. Still going in. The support coming in. Ramosa going to be able to get Rosa out. Joy using the beat right there, trying to keep everyone alive. Bomb going to come out there from Snozzler. Not going to be able to find anyone. They will get back into their mech right here, but eventually the duplicate will fade away. But now Mara coming up on this grab.
They will almost have the grab, and they're one fight away. They've kept this car continuously pushing throughout this time, but it will be Kitsune Rush on both.
Duplicate coming out here from Snake. They want a Zarya of their own as the grab comes out. Zero gonna be able to shut down Mara right there. Snake will get knocked out. That duplicate right there, but they did the job of finding Mara. But Snozzler gonna be able to win the Echo Duel. Wicca gonna be able to shut down Zero here, and Jacko in a bad spot, but the rest of their team right there to help them out as Snozzler has to fall back for a quick moment. But now again, Last Dinosaur even down Mara here for a brief moment, still being very aggressive and still pushing the cart.
This cart has practically not stopped pushing except for a little bit during that fight. Last Dinosaur, they have the pulse bomb to work with as well as Snake shifts over to the soldier to try and kill Snozzler more head on.
I do like this swap here. Zero gonna be able to use the pulse bomb right there. Will find AJ. That's a huge pickoff early here for Red Team. Need to make it into another one right here as you do see Rosa dive in on the Lucio and the Tracer. Rosa will be able to find Wicco right there, and now Red Team finally gonna be able to get a team kill right here, but still have over 2.5 minutes left to defend.
Yeah, you win the battle, but can you win the war here for Red Team? You got a lot of work to do. Mari will actually go off of the Zarya, especially with how much high ground is around here. They were getting beamed down just a little bit too much. They would go over to a Diva themselves. And this is that versatility that Chef Billy was talking about in the pregame. Mari can go to anything that you really want her to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, Snozzler, though, going to be able to duplicate into this soldier on the high ground. The visor at this point could be deadly if they allowed them to build up. They will get the beat here from Wicca. They have the visor ready to go. It will be AJMR finding Joy, and this could be the beginning of the end. Ramosu finds Snake right there, but can they find anything else? They will get the DMEC there on to Rosa, who's going to use the bomb and try to keep themselves alive. Here, the bomb comes out. Rosa, though, will be able to get the crush kill there on the Wicca, but they will also DMEC Mari, who immediately finds Jacko. Zero going to be able to find Mari right back as the Casino Rush comes out there from Jacko. They're going to be able to beam down Rosa, getting them out of the mech there before they fall back. But, I mean, somehow Red Team stays alive through all that.
They're able to barely stay alive, but Last Dinosaur are not willing to give up quite yet. The DPS are still trying to push, trying to get some advantage as Zero's pulse bomb almost lands at the feet of Snozzler, but it was a great Kitsune Rush from Jacko. They paid their life for it, but it did allow Zero and Rosa just enough damage output to try and win over that fight. And all of a sudden, we only got a little over a minute left.
And right now, Red Team has the beat. They should be able to build to a visor at some point this fight. B coming out here early to counter out AJMR's Kitsune Rush. But guys, cart so close there from a C9, but right now Red Team able to stop the cart. Jack gonna be able to find Mari right there. Everyone playing cart right now, not to give it up right now. Zero gonna be able to find Ramosa. Snozzler will find Snake here, who had the only ultimate ready there for Red Team, but Rosa quickly building up to another bomb here as Last Dinosaur has to fall back yet again.
This all of a sudden is getting very testy here for Last Dinosaur. In reality, it's one elongated fight away from us figuring out who is going to win this map. Snake is going to be the big point here. Can they get anything from this tac visor? Will it get eaten up? Will it get too much pressure? It'll be on to Ramosu to try and land that pulse early over Snozzler to get the dupe at us. Don't see nine. Jeez,
don't see that, please.
Yeah, please don't.
Right now, look at Last Dinosaur. They're slowly building up these ultimates right now. About to have 4 ready. Visor coming out here from Snake. They need to be able to find one person with it. The duplicate from Snozzler will go on to the Diva right now, trying to build up a quick bomb here. You see everyone on Red Team just trying to force them out of that mech, and it looks like they're not going to be able to. Here, a huge play there for Last Dinosaur, but Ramosu, Mari have their ultimates ready. Zero going to be able to find Wicca there. AJMR finds Snake as the Kitsune Rush comes out there from Jacko. Jacko will be able to find Snozzler right here. Only 1.5 meters away right now is Last Dinosaur. They're just looking for any kills they get. yet. Mari finds Droid, the bomb coming out here from Mari. They want to end this round here, and now they're going to be able to get the touch there from Rosa. A team fight either way will end this map. Rosa finds Ramosu right there. Zero trying to do whatever they can. The beat coming out here from Wicca. You see the D-Mech there on to Rosa, but now the cavalry coming back in here for red team. Rosa gets taken out of this fight. Zero, but they don't. Who's denying? Oh, Last Dinosaur will win this map here. Red team just playing the fight a little bit too hard there. End up costing them.
Oh, that's painful. Oh, that's a painful way to go down 0-2 in the series on a map that you played way better than you did in map 1. Oh, that is ever so painful. If you are Red Team, Last Dinosaur will not complain. I will say, that whole fight, and the reason why this map ended the way it did was on Snozzler. The dupe, instead of being aggressive with it, they go with the D.Va as soon as the attack visor is popped, and they basically are just trading off defense matrix usage to make sure that Snake's ults get absolutely nothing. And there was a moment in time where a red team could have brought it back. They were able to take out Wicca, which was at 98% the sound barrier, but they're not able to finish off the fight in time. Wicca comes back, pops the beat, and yes, it was a C9. I do think, though, Last Dinosaur were winning the engage because of that fact. And all of a sudden, they're at 2-0.
2-0, map away from a grand finals matchup with Nexus, but I mean, it took Red Team about a map and a half, in my opinion, but I feel like they have woken up. But this map here, them losing it, kind of does sting. I mean, yeah, we're going into a break here, but them being down 2-0 here, I mean, like I said, it stings. If it was 1-1, I would say it was a much better situation, and maybe Red Team were going to have the advantage, but now I think Last Dinosaur has all the momentum in their favor.
Oh, they have all the momentum, especially a play like that to end it. If I was in the comms for Red Team, it would probably be dead silent, right? Like, everyone's like, oh, man, that's how we lost it. All right, okay, let's try and figure out where we want to go to map 3, but that's obviously not how they wanted to end it. And I bet, you know, Last Dinosaur, they knew they probably didn't play a perfect map. That attack got a little too close than it should have been with the time bank that they had. But, you know, so did it on the other way around. Red Team took a long time just for different reasons to get to that point. So, as we look at the Lucio difference here, honestly, elimination-wise, not that much, but it is Wicca who had over 1,000 more healing, and it might have just made that ounce of a difference more.
I think that's damage.
Oh, damn it. That is damage. Man, I need new glasses so bad, Dexatron.
But, I mean, you just look at these stats here. While they are pretty, you know, similar and close when it comes to elimination damage, that death thing there, I mean, that's always going to be the telling sign there. Yeah, they're both playing Lucio, and they're both playing very aggressive Lucios here, but Wicca was able to get themselves out of fights, whether just on their own or they had teammates peel to keep them alive. Jot or Droid always kind of seemed like, yeah, there would be some times where there would be peel, and there would be some times where there wasn't, and that was the times where they were just getting caught out here. They weren't necessarily doing bad, and I mean, yeah, you could say their team needs to help them out a little bit here, but again, Wicca just being able to stay alive a lot longer than what Droid was able to in that map might have been the biggest difference there.
Yeah, it might have just been that ounce of a difference. And a lot of those deaths from Jot as well were on their attack. Like, a lot of it was early engages, getting picked off, whether it be from Snozzler or someone else from Last Dinosaur. It was so critical to their game plan as soon as they shifted off the D.Va focus onto the back line, and it made one hell of a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. But with that being the end of our second map, we're going to throw it to a quick break and be back with map number 3 of this series.
Cash and the ticket is yours.
Inside here, you know, you get an insight and you know something, you know, but you don't want to say it out loud because you're kind of afraid that it's not going to be really true and it'll spoil the whole thing for you, you know. But when somebody makes you say it, then, and it's true, then it just makes it more beautiful of a thing.
All right, welcome back everyone to this game right here. Last Dinosaur, one map win away from a grand finals matchup against Nexus, but we do know what our third and potentially final map of this series will be here, Twin. We'll be heading to the Flashpoint map of Saravasa here, and I mean, it's Flashpoint. I feel like we normally should expect Saravasa at this point.
Yeah, it seems to be like everyone's like, oh, New Junk City exists. Like,
It's
nobody
there.
really wants to play it in organized play, which I don't think it's a bad map. It is a little bit of a cliche map at times. For Red Team, we were talking about it in the break. It's swap or bust here, right? I think we kind of both acknowledged it. The Diva just isn't working as well, especially because you can almost guarantee that Last Dinosaur will be running the Doomfist comp here. It's what's been running everywhere over in Korea on this map in particular. There's no reason for Last Dinosaur to swap off of it after it did so well over on Nepal. It is up to Red Team to answer for their playoff lives.
Yeah, no subs here though for Red Team or Last Dinosaur going into this map, and with, you know, hero selection being here. I mean, Last Dinosaur, I mean, we did see a little bit of the Zarya on Blizzard World. But going up into Rosa's Diva, I mean, I think that was the moment that Rosa looked to be a little bit ahead of Mara, to the point where Mara even swapped off with the Zarya.
I don't mind the concept here, right? Because the concept should work. I wonder if execution here will work a little bit better. There's not as much high ground to play around, where Rosa can just kind of jet back and forth between. So I don't mind this look, and they're basically banking like, hey, we could have went the Doom, but we are banking on the fact that they are going to stick to this Diva comp, and we can just try and shut her down at the source.
Absolutely here, but I mean, right now it seems like Red Team going to be able to take some of that positioning on the point here. Rosa going to be able to get high up on those pillars right there. I mean, the only person that can go up there and contest them is Ramosu and Wicca if they want to get that aggressive. But I mean, I do like what they're doing here. They're falling back. They might be giving Red Team the first cap here.
Ooh. You're right. Well, they're going to get first cap, but they're going to lose Jot in the process, and that'll allow Last Dinosaur just to start pushing in.
And then you lose Zero, who was trying to take the flanking angle there. But I mean, 12%. If you're a Red Team, I think in that situation, you just die on point. I mean, this is not how you want to start this round here. And Jacko's not going to be able to teleport here to Rosa. And now Rosa, will they even be able to keep themselves in this mech?
They should be able to, but a lot of ult charge as well going the way of Last Dinosaur. And like you said, you know, we always talked about in control for years and years that, hey, you should die on point. In this map type, it's even more important to die on the point because it is so much faster of a load time. You can see already 50% and counting here for Last Dinosaur.
Yeah, and now, I mean, Rosa still going to be eating up a lot of damage with that defense matrix right here. I'm looking for Snake to try to find a good opening pick here on this Cassie. I mean, Mari getting incredibly low right there, but same thing could be said for Zero, who's hanging around about 33% before finally getting healed up here. But Last Dinosaur, I mean, they're just holding control on this point, waiting for Red Team to make any sort of dive in the bubble. They're going on to Ramosu as they dive in right. They're going to be able to slice and dice their way through, get back out to safety here. And now Red Team finally has to invest into it here, as you do see the Kitsune Rush come out here from Jacko. 95% on the point. I mean, they need to be looking for a touch here. They're going to be able to get a touch of force overtime. Ant-Man just coming out here from AJMR. Snaz are able to find Rosa right there right after they get D-Mech B coming out as well. And you're just seeing that kill feed light up Last Dinosaur blue.
That is dominance on that point, other than the, I want to say like the pity 12% that they gave up early. And we finally see a swap on tank and in whole composition here from Red Team. They will go over to the Ram Rush. Snake will go over to the Mei. This may trigger a swap eventually here from Last Dinosaur, but they have both DPS ults here in a moment. They're very close to grab. They're going to try and ride this out.
Yeah, I mean, Red Team, I mean, they do have the beat to try to keep them alive through grab or the blade. Which is it going to be? It's going to be the blade here first. Droid almost gets Ajax right there, but able to get that beat off in time. Ramosu, though, going to be able to escape with their life. High Noon coming out here from Snazzer, looking for anyone they can. Not going to be able to find anyone just yet. Red Team, though, want to take control of this point here first. Snake will find AJMR, but you immediately lose your tank there if you're a Red Team. And I think that means you have to give this point over.
You have to give the point over. And yes, Last Dinosaur did lose their main source of healing and AJMR. They're going to have to try and play a little bit more conservative, but you don't have a frontline body to really punch your way in. So yes, you can take a little pop shots just like that to try and gain the advantage, but now you got to make sure you live.
And you lose your other DPS right there as well. Snake gets taken out. Now Ramosu gets that bubble again. Gonna be a little bit aggressive right now. Rosa, though, goes into that Nemesis form, trying to find whoever they can. But Ramosu in that backline, able to find Jacko, able to find Joy. Can they find the trifecta? Yeah, they can.
They will find it. 50% now on the board. And slight little swap there for Snozzler. Now goes over to the Soj. We'll try and match the range from Zero a little bit more. But honestly, that's not even going to be too much of an issue for them. Mari has been dominant on this. Zarya trying to pull this, I don't want to say off meta, but maybe not the most meta pick, and it's been working out extravagantly.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you're Mari, you could use that grab right now, stop this rush, and cap this second point, be 1 point away from a grand finals matchup at Zero. Going to be able to find Ramosu right there, which is a huge pick. Now the grab comes out, but you do see the point starting to get capped here by Red Team. You will lose your support line if you're Red Team. You do cap point, but now the Annihilation coming out here from Rosa. It needs to be able to find something, but instead Mari is just staring at the face of death and say, I can do what you can do, even better. 3 gonna go their way, and they'll end it with a swift left hook.
They are Prometheus. They control everything on the battlefield right now. 2-0 on Flashpoint as they make their way to the final potential round here on this Flashpoint. And it will be Red Team who might be able to get there at least in a decent time. You can see their silhouettes trying to make their way over, but Snake's caught out.
And the disrupting shot gonna not be able to save Ramosu right there. If you're Red Team, you need to go in. But hey, Snalls are gonna be able to trade out Snake. Wicca does fall there, so now Red Team has this advantage still. A lot of time before the point even opens up here, so I'm actually okay with Red Team taking this fight, but you cannot be losing this many people. Yeah, you found Mari there. You need to now start going towards point.
You need to make sure you at least cap point early. Yes, you may not win the fight right after, but you got to get some of that percentage early on. Wicca just there to make sure a cap is being placed, and it will be Red Team able to cap early, but can they hold on?
Snozzler going to use that overclock right now, and they're the only one on point, but it will be a Zero. Going to be able to find Snozzler there. Blizzard can come out here from Snake. We'll find AJMR. Very low is Snake. Able to stay alive through all that Ramosu, though. We'll find Zero, but that might be the only thing Dinosaur gets this fight.
Yeah, only thing they're able to get, Snozzler will swap over to the soldiers. It will be Mari. Will not make it out this time, but Blade is popped. That is something.
Very interesting, honestly.
Yeah, I don't mind it, but they are going to cap, I guess, in correlation too, so hey, I guess it worked out.
Bob now coming out here from Zero. I mean, they threw it on the point there for Mo. Red Team now heading back towards point here. Last Dinosaur actually making Red Team pay for being a little bit over-aggressive right there, but Red Team immediately takes the point back. Now Bob's gone. I mean, if you're a Dinosaur, you're in a really good spot here. AJMR is about to come up on this Ant Matrix, and you have a couple heroes here that can use it to great value here, but now Nemesis form coming out here from Rosa. Icewall going to come out from Snake, as well as the beat here from Joy, just trying to keep their team alive through this one here. That Ant Matrix will eventually fade away here from AJMR. Not going to be able to find any kills with it, but it does just buy them some space. The ball will come in here on the Ramosu, who's going after Zero, not going to be able to escape with their life, but Rosa on the ground, going to be able to find AJMR. Mari falls as well here, and Red Team looking like they're going to be able to keep this map alive.
Showing some life here on Saravasa as they're able to win over here, and now we'll go over to the next Flashpoint, which very conveniently for them is right next to them. So Last Dinosaur will have to play from the outside looking in. Red Team will have plenty of time to play around this setup as Last Dinosaur, yes, they get the amp, honestly, in a pretty decent position, but they never get the flip. So during that entire time, they're never able to get it turned around. Red Team take their time. They stagger out the touches, and they are eventually able to get the point. What a shot.
But you will trade out Jacko right there as the grab does come into no immortality field, no beat, and now you're just seeing 3 members of Red Team fall. Rosa trying to do whatever they can, and Snake. Yeah, that was going to be a rude awakening once they got out of that ice block there.
That is quite an alarm to wake up to if you're Snake. There's everybody in your face. Last Dinosaur will cap first, but they did have to use a few ultimates for it. Red Team, ideally here you would think maybe using the amp, trying to set up Zero, and if you use either Blizzard or Annihilation, then you're at least feeling okay, because by the time the next next fight happens, you should have Bob.
Absolutely here, but I mean, you see the pressure come out here from Red Team. Last Dinosaur are going to have to fall back from perspective here, but the Blade coming out. Ramosu, I mean, are they hearing the voices here? Where are they going? Jacko, though, going to be the first one to fall here, followed up by Snake. this has been a weird fight here. Zero falls as well, and Dinosaur gonna be able to hold on to it through all this.
That was a massive brain play. They pop Blade to try and look like, hey, I'm going to ult your backline. And Rosa pops the Annihilation to try and counter, and then there's dash away. So the most powerful ultimate for red team is just gone, and now they have to rush the touch.
The Blizzard coming out here. Jacko with zero falls. Snake, they have to be able to get there. Rosa not even be able to get back here. Last Dinosaur, but we do see a touch come out here from Joy. Will they get the swap? And no, they're not going to be able to. Wicca will win the last Lucio duel here, and last Dinosaur winning this series 3-0 punches their ticket to the grand finals matchup with Nexus.
What a performance here from them as they will 3-0 red team, as Billy is probably one of the happiest people in the world right now seeing this happen. And this was not the Blade that they faked out, not a Blade at all, able just to find a few when it was just them trying to pick up some of these kills. And last Dinosaur, you know, we talked about it early on. We need to see versatility. We didn't think they were going to be the team that really needed to show a lot of it because they were very dominant after map 1. But they throw out the Zarya comp, and red team just never really found a way around it, even after the Ram swap. And honestly, last Dinosaur, what a performance. And if I was Nexus, I would be pretty scared right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this last Dinosaur team, I mean, you heard Chef Billy just praise them a lot. These are 5 incredibly good players, and you're seeing it here. I mean, just look at these stats. I mean, I'm just counting up the total deaths here. That's only 15. You look at the DPS line there for red team, that's 18. I mean, last Dinosaur did such a great job disengaging and engaging into fights, and just some of the plays that are coming out for them. We talk about that Blade there at the end from Ramosu. Yeah, it went into the backline, but it forced Rosa away from the point there and worked out so great. And look at this DPS comparison right here. I mean, this is probably the best comparison you could have between any of the 4 DPS, and it's just such a difference.
It is such a difference. It's like over 3 times the eliminations for Ramosu, who just incredible. Honestly, you know, we talked about them a little bit here and there, and it was kind of map dependent on who is popping off, but that is the dangerous thing about this team. No matter what map it is, somebody will be popping off and bringing them to the finish line. And you know, one thing that I learned today, Dexatron,
never trust me,
never doubt Billy.
That
I've learned my lesson here today. But I will say, red team, it wasn't a bad showing. They at least did show some resilience, and I'm glad they did finally show that adaptation that we were looking for to go off the diva. I just think momentum-wise, it was way too late. But as they go into the second half of the season, I do trust that, hey, they can figure it out. And if these teams play again in the postseason, we could see a closer game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both these teams, I mean, especially red team losing here, that does not go on their record. They're still a 4-0 team. I mean, they have to take this as a learning match from it here, because they definitely found some cracks in their armor, and those cracks just eventually just became holes at points there for red team. But last Dinosaur, I mean, very impressed with this team. I think they're going to give Nexus, or formerly known as the Crazy 88s, a hell of a performance there. And Twin, I just want to give you the Dexatron Airball Award here. Headrammer will get it too once we throw it over to the desk. So congrats on winning that prestigious award. But hey, that will do it for us here in the booth. Twin, I want to thank you so much for being my co-cast tonight. You were incredible. But now we're going to throw it back to Sam, Ray, Billy, and Headrammer to finish off the night.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your amazing work in casting this series that I think has blown all expectations away. Billy, you were the there it is, the Dexatron air whiff, or good old Headrammer. Billy, you were the closest one. You were the one that was right there. You said 3-1, but it's a 3-0, defying even your expectations of how well Last Dinosaur was going to be playing tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this was just a tank diff. Let's be completely honest with it. I mean, the DPS were going neck for neck with each other. The supports were going neck for neck with each other. But in the tank department, Mari reigned supreme. Like I said in the opening, the flexibility, the adaptability, the situational awareness cannot be understated. And this was on full display here tonight. 3-0. Holy crap. That is a hell of a result.
A hell of a result, and even more, especially when you consider we had the certified CGL C9 moment that happened on Blizzard World. Could have easily had been in the favor of red team. Get a little lost in the sauce sometimes, though, Ray, and that cost them what could be a very valuable map win. That could have been, well, it could have been a perfect prediction from Billy.
Yeah, I mean that Blizzard World map was incredibly close, and I don't. It feels like, you know, after going into Saravasa, that red team had thrown everything into that map and it just felt like the wind that went out of their sails when they threw 9. There was definitely an opportunity for them to be able to win there, but I believe it was Snake on the Soldier who did not touch in time. It was just very unfortunate. But I mean, I kind of want to talk to Headrammer a little bit here, Sam, if we can, because he was telling it's not even about your pick being wrong. Like, I'm not trying to, you know, grind your gears too much on that. But you talked about when we loaded into the lobby, you did not expect to see the players you saw.
Yeah, I thought. I guess there was 2 or 3 players I didn't expect to see because, like, originally on the team sheet, you know, they mentioned, I think it was Evergreen, Goldia, Rosa, Zero, and Hopeful. And we saw, I think, Zero, Rosa, Jot, and Goldie at first. Then we had Jacko in as well later. So I did make my prediction initially with this storyline, and while I think the initial players by popping in would have done better, I still think Dinosaur probably would have clearly won as well. I agree with what Billy said in that I think the flexibility of Mario there is really a large reason why her team was going so good. We saw Rosa on Diva, and Rosa was playing an excellent Diva. But when you're getting counter swapped and it's playing, and it's really difficult to make it continue to work when you're being counter swapped. When, sorry, and when you have this just Doomfist just going in constantly on your team, and you can't really engage as much. You can feel very much, but like you can't do that constant action. We saw that on Blizzard World, where constantly they're just going into them in their spawn, and it took ages to make any kind of progress at that point.
No, I couldn't agree more. And also to bring up the other players of Last Dinosaur, and I think the big discussion topic point for that is Ramasu on the Genji for Saravasa, which I think was an insane display, once again, of a player who understands their hero, understands everything that needs to be done, but also understands that sometimes an ultimate is a powerful force that doesn't need to be used offensively, Billy.
The great Dragon Blade debate of 2024 just happened on Surfasa on Garden, and I mean, it was perfect. I mean, it was absolutely perfectly executed. You saw Rosa immediately turn tail to go defend the back line and whoop, dash out, done. I mean, it was the great debate of 2024, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I told you guys that, and Rammer can attest to this. The Ramasu Genji is their best hero. She can absolutely destroy on that, and the fact that she was able to bring it out here in Saravasa and absolutely clean house with it. Yeah, absolutely beautiful work.
It felt like they were sweeping the floor with Red Team. I apologize, Headrammer. I interrupted you there. Okay. Please go ahead, please.
I was going to say, yeah, I absolutely agree with Billy, because that's the hero she was known for all the time before swapping to PC, was primarily being a hard Genji main and being absolutely insane about it on console and swapping PC, not even losing a beat at all. I mean, even at times where Ramasu was on like my team in CGL, like in the early times, we built ourselves around playing on versus Genji because they were so good at it. Until you've also seen it in the Tracer recently too. They've put a lot of time in their Tracer and gotten so much better at that. And they've really come into their own.
It's really so much fun to be able to see players who are able to expand that breadth, but then when they go back to the bread and butter, oh, whoo, it's delicious. Now, it's time to crown our MVP for the evening, and I think there is only one clear choice. There is only one person who, through their exemplary display of tanking skill, deserves this. And who better, Ray, than Mari, the tank extraordinaire, the one who they controlled everything. It was their map, it was their games, and whatever they dictated happened.
Yeah, she was absolutely insane. So much flexibility. I mean, there were parts. I mean, played so many different tanks. I kind of want to just peek at Blizzard World just a little bit. When she was on the Doomfist, she went for a punch on an Echo on the high ground that if you miss, you're going in the water. I literally looked at you guys and said, pardon my French, but I didn't have the balls to make that punch if I was Mari. Like, I would not even attempt that. And they hit it, and it was absolutely insane. And then even Billy, when they swapped to Zarya, Billy's like, what? And then absolutely dominates on it.
Yeah, it was kind of like that moment, but then you have to remember, this is Mari that we're talking about. Then proceeded to, the second they switched from Zarya, swept through that first point and then took it back. Then Zarya wasn't quite working out, so what do? They just meet the Diva. They switch to Diva and they match it. It's like, wow.
The perfect representation of the next generation of tanks. Honestly, like when you have those hyperflex tanks that can play all those heroes, you know, we're starting to blur lines more and more between you know, what is a main tank and what is a flex tank in terms of like what you tank player need to play, because especially, you know, in a non-Overwatch League era, where everything's a little more lower budget, whatnot like that, you need somebody who can play all of it. Like, you're not gonna be sharing time most of the time with another tank.
Yeah, no, and Billy, it's even more so important when you are now the only tank, when everything is riding on your shoulders. If you're gone, your team either needs to make that counter pick happen immediately or back off. And so the tank player is where everything is synergized. It's why it's why we always talk about, right, not other compositions. It's the Junker Queen composition. It's the Diva composition. It's the Ramatra composition, because that tank is the linchpin and that player is everything for these teams.
So I'm gonna kind of circle back. I mean, back to, you know, when we were in 6v6, I was always a proponent of tanks being able to swap between the roles between main and off tank, and you know, being able to adjust to the situations. You know, I may be a gold, platinum mechanical player, but my brain's pretty good for the game, and we're seeing that now. We're seeing that now where you have to be the most flexible in the tank role possible. Now, we've had some changes to the heroes, obviously, and we've had other things happen, but that thought that I had back then, back in 2018, 2019, still is now, today, really viable. The other thing is that calling all heroes is the reason why this team is so good, is because they really forged their steel in the fires of calling all heroes. I mean, that was a very intense competition. If you did not check in any of it, these teams went up against it. And I mean, they had the perfect environment to grow. And Mari and Avery's another tank that I think of that really blossomed in the calling all heroes environment. And then Ramasu absolutely sharpened their steel in the calling all heroes environment. So this all comes full circle now, especially with Ramasu coming back to the CGL. I mean, this is a full circle proud papa moment for me and Headrammer for sure.
It's forged through the
fire. They also knocked out my team in Calling All Heroes.
Ooh,
yeah.
Hey, forged through the fire and flames, right? That's what these teams are. That's what happens, right? When you build this bond and when you continue to display and continue to challenge yourself and continue to try and find different avenues of how you can improve and what you can actually do to make that into a reality. Last Dinosaur, though, has given us one heck of a run through here in the midseason tournament, accomplishing so far into the grand finals undefeated now, where they're going to be taking on Nexus. This is this story.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, this story.
I mean, Nexus. Basically Crazy 88s, but some of these players, as we mentioned, are on teams in OWCS. So we thought, you know, the competitive meter had been turned up for this one. Imagine whether it's going to be Saturday, Sunday, whenever this game occurs between these two teams, it's going to be on full blast. Like, I went up to the stove and turned it all the way up. These two teams are going to be going at it head to toe, and I have no idea who I'm going to predict yet, but I can't wait to watch it.
I know we all can. This is what we want, Billy. This is Overwatch. This is everything we could ever desire, and then some.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've already got my pick. for who's going to win that. I think that we just saw our champion. I think we just saw our champion compete here. Honestly, we've seen Nexus play. Nexus has been pretty lights out as well. I just think that the tank department's still going to be the area where teams are going to have to try and dissect this team. And I don't know if anybody can break Mari down right now. I don't think it's possible.
You got a score line over there?
That's a bold move.
3-1.
Ooh.
Okay.
3-1.
3-1. Last Dinosaur may want to exceed that again, Billy. They may want to go just for the straight 3-0.
Hey, prove me wrong. I'm okay with the 3-0. I'm okay with it.
We got to get the grand finals as best we can, though, right, Headrammer? We got to get as much action, as much Overwatch, because that's what we're here for. We're here to enjoy the competitive nature, and we're getting it. The midseason, everything for the tournament has just been undeniable, and the storylines that are being written, and the players' passions that we're getting, and the flames that are continuously heating up.
Absolutely. I think these are the most fun aspects. You know, you have the regular season, which is always, you know, a fun experience as well. But where you get your best matches are these mid-season tournaments, the overall playoffs, when, you know, the level of talent in those in these remaining games is just so unbelievably high. Like, it's hard to choose who you want to win or predict who you want to win when you just want to see an amazing game.
Exactly, and we all just want Overwatch. That's really at the end of everything. We just want more Overwatch, and that's exactly what you're gonna get here at CGL. So make sure to hit that follow button to get notifications when we go live. Because guess what? Mid-season tournament is still continuing. We have grand finals across all of the divisions that have yet to happen right now. And obviously, we got Last Dinosaur going up against Nexus. I believe that for the console open tier that we were watching earlier today.
Yep.
It's going to be
Short Bus versus the Heroes Party.
Short Bus versus the Hero Party. Thank you for that, Billy. So
3-0. 3-0,
Short bus,
baby.
short
Sea
bus
Demons.
supremacy, baby.
Oh my gosh, here
I
it
was
is.
wrong. Hey, I can
Sea
admit when I
Demons.
was wrong. I did
Sea
not
Demons.
see this coming from Heroes Party, though. They absolutely stomped
Yeah,
Sea Demons.
And we're getting both Masters finals Sunday. It's going to be an action-packed weekend.
There's still like 7 more grand finals we're waiting on total to be scheduled. So keep your eyes out.
Hit the follow button. Hit the follow button right now. Seriously, everything this weekend is going to be insane. But not only that, throughout the weeks as well. We're still going to go. We still got a regular season to get through. And then that's not even including the playoffs and everything else along with that. So follow, or I don't know what I'm going to do. I might just go crazy. I might lose my mind if you don't hit that follow button.
Make the
We'll have to
casters
have a new
suffer
desk
and
host.
make the desk suffer more with games.
Oh,
Want to see them suffer?
my
Please follow
gosh.
now.
Yeah, well, all right. Follow. You like watching us all in pain. But seriously, thank you all so much for watching, because without you, the viewer, none of this would be possible. None of this would even be worth it. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you, of course. And we do want to say a big thank you to our producer behind the scenes, and of course our observer Lottie and Hippie, who without them we wouldn't have looked, sounded, or have caught all of the hype moments that we did out of Overwatch tonight. But from all of us here on the desk, from all of our casters, and from everyone at CGL, a big thank you for watching, and we will see all of you in the next broadcast.